Hey everybody, it is Finn here, and today we will be looking at where Bayern Munich's Champions League starting 11 was 5 years ago. 2015, it was a simpler time. I just started high school. Southampton was in the Europa League. We could go outside without our hands reeking of hand sanitizer. And of course guys, if you do enjoy my content or you do like me, then please do consider subscribing to this channel. It really does help me out a lot. But the first player I have for you from this Champions League winning team is the great Manuel Neuer between the posts. Now, it is no secret that Manuel Neuer is a legend of the game, and in my personal opinion, I think he was my man of the match for this Champions League final. And everyone who, even if you don't watch football, like my friends, when I play FIFA with them and they don't support football whatsoever, they always go with Germany because they always say,
is that not that team with that amazing German goalkeeper?
And after debating whether they're talking about Karius or Manuel Neuer, they are obviously talking about the brick wall Manuel Neuer, who 5 years ago in the 14-15 season just came out of winning the World Cup with Germany. In the 14-15 season, he got 28 clean sheets in all competitions out of 50 games and got 20 clean sheets in the Bundesliga. I mean, he's been absolutely ruining footballers back then, and he's still doing it to this day. I mean, Manuel Neuer, one of the best goalkeepers of all time, 5 years ago, currently, I mean, he pretty much owns the goal. Look at him, he's taking the net home. Going on to the defense, in the right back position, the player who got the Champions League winning assist, it is going to be the amazing Joshua Kimmich, who I've said this quite a few times, but except for maybe Trent Alexander-Arnold, probably the best right back in the world. And what an amazing 5 years he has had. 5 years ago, he was a midfielder for RB Leipzig in the second tier of the Bundesliga, getting 2 goals and 2 assists in that season. And wow, to think how far he has gone from a midfielder in the second tier of German football to being one of the best right backs in the world. And that is the season he made his move to Bayern Munich, who 5 years later just has, a handful of Bundesliga titles, a Champions League title, and has proven he can be the amazing Philipp Lahm's successor. What have I done in 5 years, you ask? I've pretty much gotten halfway through this Hunger Games book. Looking at our first centre-back in this list, it is going to be the incredible Jerome Boateng, who unfortunately was substituted off quite early due to injury, and unfortunately I think towards the end of his career he'll be remembered more and more for the injuries he's gotten in his career, and he'll probably also be remembered for that time Messi broke him. Can we just call that character development? 5 years ago in the 14-15 season, just like Manuel Neuer was coming out of a World Cup win. And in that 14-15 season, he had such an incredible year. He was put into FIFA's Pro 11 team. He was in the team of the season. He got 1 year later the German Footballer of the Year. And this was probably around that time where he really started to improve. And for a good year or two, I would say he was probably one of the best centre-backs in the world. The second centre-back on this list is actually going to be the first non-German footballer on this list, and it is going to be Alaba in the centre-back position. Now, weirdly enough, although he's the first non-German in this list, he's the first player I have for you who actually went through Bayern Munich's academy. And I've said this a few times, but by far the most impressive thing about him this season is how well he transitioned from a left-back position to a centre-back position, considering he was one of the best left-backs in the world for such a long time. And things have not changed, because 5 years ago in the 14-15 season, he also transitioned between left-back and centre-back quite a lot, and it just shows how versatile he is as a player. And 5 years ago, he just won his 5th Austrian Football Player of the Year award out of 6, because he's gotten 6 throughout his career. He was in Team of the Season and FIFA Pro 11. As I said, very versatile player and an incredible player overall. I can't believe he's only 28 years old, because I can really see him dominate the scenes for another 5 years if he keeps it up. The last defender on this list is going to be the incredibly young Alphonso Davies, who at 19 years old is already one of the best left backs in the world, and 5 years ago he was 14 years old. I mean, I don't even have a FIFA card I could put up for him, and to think he started playing for the Vancouver Whitecaps 5 years ago. I mean, this was me 5 years ago. I looked like a dentist commercial, but you have to say that you are incredibly proud of Alphonso Davies. To think what he's been through and what his story is. If you do not know, he was born in Ghana in a refugee camp to Liberian parents. Shh! No, not librarian. He then moved to Canada when he was 5 years old, and when he was 17, he did get Canadian citizenship, where he then became the youngest player ever to play for the Canadian national team, and at 17 years old, moved to the likes of Bayern Munich. What an incredible career so far, and to think he's not even 20, he's got such a great journey ahead of him. The first midfielder I have for you guys is going to be the beast of a man, Goretzka, who actually used his lockdown time to work out. Can you believe that? It's a lot more than I can say. The only working out I've done during lockdown is working out how many calories I've consumed. Guys, legally I think I should be dead. But Goretzka has had such an incredible 5 years. Considering he's one of the best midfielders in the world at the moment, 5 years ago he was actually a right midfielder for the likes of Schalke and could only get 10 senior appearances for Schalke and actually spent the majority of the season playing for their second team. What an incredible transformation he has had. And if you told him 5 years ago that he would eventually win the Champions League in 5 years' time, well, I'm not sure how he would react. I don't know how good his English is. The second midfielder I have for you guys is going to be one of the most versatile of all time. He can play right midfield, left midfield, centre mid, cam, centre forward, striker. You name it, he can do it. It is the incredible Thomas Muller, who now at 30 years old has been bossing the midfield stage for a good 10 years now. I mean, at 30 years old, he has just gotten 21 assists, a competition record in the Bundesliga this season. And 5 years ago, he was no different. 5 years ago, he just came out of winning the World Cup with Germany, just like the other Germans in the squad, where he got the second most goals in that competition. 5 years ago in the Champions League, he got 7 goals in the Champions League. He got 13 goals and 10 assists in the Bundesliga. He was bossing the stages then. He's bossing the stages now. He placed 6th place in the Ballon d'Or 5 years ago. He's been in the Ballon d'Or top 10 about 4 or 5 times now. I have to say, personally for me, Thomas Muller is one of the most underrated midfielders of all time. Next to Marouane Fellaini, of course. The last midfielder I have for you guys is going to be an extremely underrated one in the likes of Thiago, who Bayern Munich fans absolutely love him, and although he hasn't gotten any goals this Bundesliga season, he was actually a huge reason to why that Champions League winning goal was created. He really did help set up play, and he has had a fantastic career at the likes of Bayern Munich, been there for about 7 years now, and has been linked to the likes of Liverpool and to the likes of Arsenal. But in my opinion, I will say if he moves to Arsenal instead of Liverpool, his agents should definitely get sacked. But looking at Thiago, this is actually his second Champions League title, because he actually did win it in 2011 with the likes of Barcelona, where he actually didn't even come off the bench. And in his first season with the likes of Bayern Munich, he only managed 7 appearances, which just shows how much he has grown over time. And as I said, no goals this Bundesliga season, but he really is a glue kind of player. He really does fit everything together, and I think he is a fantastic player. The first attacker I have for you guys from Bayern Munich is going to be the Champions League winning goal scorer, Kingsley Coman, who at 24 years old has gotten 20 major titles in his career. He has struggled with injury in his career, he struggled to get into the first team, but he has still managed to average a trophy every 9 games in his career. And to make it worse for PSG, he is a PSG Academy reject, which makes things a tiny bit awkward for PSG. But looking at Coman, 5 years ago, he made a move from Juventus to Bayern Munich. I mean, what an incredible career. 24 years old, he's played for PSG, Juve, and Bayern Munich. And 5 years ago, his final season for the likes of Juventus, he actually won the domestic treble. And it's such an inspirational story to think 1 year ago, just 1 year ago, he was actually considering retiring at an early age because he has struggled with injury. And to think 1 year later, he scores a Champions League winning goal. Kingsley Coman, an incredible career, and hopefully he does not struggle anymore with injury. Looking at the striker, we all know where this is going. It's the incredible Robert Lewandowski, who what an incredible season this season. He's had 15 goals in 10 Champions League games and 34 in 31 Bundesliga games. If you look at him 5 years ago, that is when he made his move from Borussia Dortmund to Bayern Munich. And if you look at him season-wise, he got 17 goals in the Bundesliga his first season with Bayern Munich, and 4th place in the Ballon d'Or, where he also got Polish Player of the Year in all fairness, you're not giving it to Szczesny, are you? And in my 100% opinion, I think he should still get the Ballon d'Or this year. Even if they don't hold the ceremony, give the man the damn trophy. But yes, 17 goals in the 14-15 season, and in all fairness, the 5 seasons after that they've had, he has not managed to get less than 20 in a domestic season. In fact, 3 of those last 5 seasons, he's got more than 30. I think he definitely deserves to go down as one of the best strikers of all time. The last player in this list is going to be Serge Gnabry, who has just gotten double-digit goals and assists in the Bundesliga this season, and 9 goals from 10 Champions League games, who 5 years ago, we all know the story, used to play for Arsenal, where he only managed 8 second-team appearances for Arsenal. Can you imagine? 5 years ago, Gnabry couldn't even make the first team for Arsenal. He was loaned out to West Brom, where Tony Pulis, as the West Brom manager, told him that he wasn't even good enough for West Brom. I'm sure they're a tiny bit embarrassed at the moment, but Gnabry, in my opinion, at the moment, is probably in the top 5 best right wings in the world at the moment. So guys, that is it for today's video. I really hope that you have enjoyed. Once again, if you do enjoy my content, please do consider subscribing. And once again, if you have missed it, you can catch me every weeknight from Monday to Friday at 4 p.m. British summertime on Twitch, FK Football, where you can watch me play FIFA. I would really appreciate that. But guys, if there are any other teams you want me to do this kind of video on, please do let me know. But guys, this has been Finn, FYNN. I do love and appreciate every single one of you. Thank you so much for watching Finn, FYNN. Stay awesome. Cheers.